turn me on, turn that off. Let's see who's got in the right position. Captain Kangaroo, well done. We can always counter. We can always counter you. You are in the exact correct place. I'm in the right place as well. But I need
Misty's in the clouds.
she and she's in your position, Mr. Pickles. I'm going to have, she's up there at the top, and I'm going to have to drag her down below. If I can find her. Is that it? Her? No.
I'm going to join the Me Too campaign.
There she goes. And then slide Mr. Pickles in there. And that is good. Make sure I look good on camera. That's all that matters. Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome back. You join us in part 4 of an adventure entitled Company Business. And we're playing the rule set called Destined, which is Mithras in a superhero campaign. 3 brave heroes are trying to discover who is trying to ruin their reputation. I heard a really interesting thing before I go on to introductions. You could be overwhelmed or you could be underwhelmed, but you can never be whelmed. I just find that you don't think that's interesting?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of whelmed right now.
I was just thinking, I saw it on a TikTok. You could be
everybody's whelmed all the time, aren't they? Because they're not overwhelmed, they're not underwhelmed, they're just whelmed.
But then I wondered what whelmed is. Because
it's existing.
It's just purely existing in life.
It's all whelm.
And then that's what I was trying to think. Is there a state between overwhelmed and underwhelmed? And you're just sort of like whelmed. I thought
in America we call that state Kansas.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm not, does Kansas have a bit of a bad rep?
No, it's just nothing. It's just yeah. It's
it's not overwhelming and it's not underwhelming. It just it's Kansas.
Yeah.
It has Wizard of Oz.
I mean, the girl escapes Kansas to go to the Wizard of Oz. There's no wizard there.
Kansas is most famous for that movie about the girl leaving the state. Yeah.
But she comes back at the end.
Is it just full of like Magnolia?
Probably because she's traumatized. Like
when you're used to being whelmed, you don't want to go to a land with wizards and witches and magical balloons.
Maybe she's too overwhelmed and she had to reduce herself back to whelmed again.
Yeah, you go back and you have your French fries with your plain ranch dressing, and you're just whelmed.
Yeah,
and look at Magnolia walls.
I am going to have to try to get some. Is it ranch dressing that you always have in America? Can we get it in England? Medivac?
Yeah, it's like
you can make it.
Don't we call them chaps? Things like that for your horses and things.
No.
That's ranch dressing.
Oh, okay. Something you dress while in.
That took me a moment.
I got it. That was a better joke.
So, is it like mayonnaise
with some spices and I think like
barbecue
saucy?
I want to say there's like a red onion or something added to it, but it's in like restaurants it's blended, so there's no chunks or anything. I think that's sort of like it's a fancy mayo.
Is it white?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know with red onion whether or not it went.
Salt, garlic, onion, black pepper, herbs mixed into a sauce on a mayonnaise base or other oil emulsion, so that diesel.
Yeah. No, we use it to run some cars
in Texas.
Yeah.
Can we buy it in England, Medivac? Are you on Asda's?
Tesco have it. Sainsbury's have it too.
Oh,
Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
How fancy.
It's actually cheaper in Sainsbury's and Tesco's. Go figure.
yeah. See,
Asda have it. Waitrose have it. You'll get a Waitrose. That's a lot more upper class.
That's very upper class and very expensive. No, I go to
Quite posh.
Sainsbury's. I go to Sainsbury's. I'm a Sainsbury's shopper, mainly because it's just around the corner, so it's easier to do it that. Okay, then. Now that we've sorted out whelmed and ranch dressing, and I feel happier now. I feel I feel content.
I feel like we're answering America's real questions or the world's real questions, and so I don't think that's what really people come here for.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got 11% cholesterol. That's all the cholesterol in the world. 11%. That's like Jesus.
That's a huge amount.
Well, it's a lot of beef fat. You have to it's about, for one bottle, it's about 3 cows worth of fat.
No.
3 pounds worth of fat.
I'm
In
not
a
buying.
250 milligram bottle.
I am not buying ranch dressing now. That is
It's
just
a small
completely,
bottle, but it weighs a lot.
There's no beef in ranch. If anything, there's
I know.
chicken.
I heard it just a few seconds ago. It made sense to me. So,
Created by Steve Henson from Kansas. Go figure.
oh wow, we came back.
No way.
Whoa,
No, it's not really.
That would have been perfect.
The one person that won is staying, Kansas.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, we could have got something good from Kansas for once, couldn't we? I don't even know. I don't even know where Kansas is in the United States.
No one does.
No.
It's a square that's like in the middle of the country, and nobody cares because there's like Ohio and a couple others, and Colorado's there, which is like their cool cousin, but they're just a bunch of squares in the middle of the country, and you kind of just go, well, which square do you want to go to?
Colorado's quite exciting, isn't it? That's one of all the mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
Although that's the mountains, and we call it cannibalism.
I don't know if Colorado's known for cannibalism.
Maybe South Park. Donner Party aficionado.
Was that in Colorado?
I'm pretty confident it was Colorado adjacent.
Isn't it where Yeti was in Colorado? No?
I'm pretty sure that happened closer to where we are. We're closer to cannibals than Colorado is.
Yeah, are you near Utah?
Oh, gross. No.
No, we're not there.
Just offending all of our Utah fans.
Ooh,
a state's so delusioned because they drink from the one salt lake in all of the country.
Yeah, but don't they have more men than women there?
I don't know. Nobody goes to Utah.
More men than women. No, okay. I'll let that one go.
Well, that would be an explanation of why some people go, tend to have very large families.
I'm not asking. At this point, it's probably a good idea to leave Colorado, Utah, Kansas, and ranch dressing and get on with some role playing of superheroes. Because that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for tonight. So yeah, let's start off by allowing the players to say who they are and who they will be playing. And can I just say, Mr. Pickles, you didn't say, my name's Mr. Pickles last time. You just said, I play Rabbit. So if you listen back on the podcast, you don't say, I'm Mr. Pickles, how you normally say it. Did you know that?
I messed up.
You did?
I messed up so bad.
You had that set inflection. I'm Mr. Pickles. Like that. So anyway,
I think you should be punished and forced to spend 3 days in Kansas.
Eating ranch dressing.
Creepy wood.
And they'll have to be weekdays.
Not weekdays.
I like ranch dressing, so it's not a problem.
I'm going to maybe buy some, and then the thing is, if I buy some and I hate it, I'm stuck with it, aren't I?
Where'd you put in the cupboard with all the other condiments that stay there for 2 years?
No, that is true. Next to the piccalilli.
The piccalilli, yeah. That's slowly piccalilli itself.
Hate piccalilli. Anything that's yellow. Right. Piccalilli. Do you know what piccalilli is?
No, I have no idea.
It's pickled lilies.
That doesn't answer anything.
It's sort of like bits of vegetable. So you get bits of cauliflower, bits of beans, etc. But it's in a really spicy yellow sauce.
Which looks like wallpaper paste.
I can imagine that Medivac is trying to find piccalilli on the website on
I've got
the
some in the
internet.
cupboard.
And I'm sure he will put some into the.
No, seriously, I've got some in the cupboard. It's next to the branch dressing.
Okay.
We are talking. Talking about piccalilli.
The condiment channel.
It's not
I
spelled
don't,
like
I don't
that.
get the cauliflower piccalilli. I get the other piccalilli. It's quite thin, and you can put it on your sandwiches.
Like mustard.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the stuff I got last time was too vinegary, because that's the problem. It can be really vinegary as well.
I don't like it at all. I just hate it. It's just it reminds me of curry. That's what it reminds me of. But it's so strong. It's unbelievable. Anyway, let me give an opportunity for the players to say who they are and who they are playing tonight. I will start off with the person who's playing the speedy character in the group.
Oh, hey, that would be me. I'm Mr. Pickles, and I play Rabbit, who is definitely not from Kansas. Rabbit is the speedy character, so she has very fast reactions, she has very fast land speed, she's very lucky, and she heals really fast. So everything she does is fast, even how she talks, which leads to her not being the best social character. She's mostly physical. She has a lot of abilities that allow her to mess up targets by inflicting a lot of extra special effects if I want to, but she's not as good at dealing damage. She's just more of a distraction and crowd control. Took a lot of power last session to take out 2 guys without being hit once, but then somebody else just barrels through and does it for cheap. And on that note, I'm going to pass the microphone on over to that person, Captain Kangaroo.
Hey everyone, I'm Captain Kangaroo for those on the podcast. I'm playing Banner. He's someone who definitely knows what's happening at all times, and if reminders are said, that's beneficial to the whole group and not just him specifically, because he's definitely paying attention and understands what's happening. He's also there to pummel some ne'er-do-wells. He's there to make sure that everyone's hospital bills are really racked up, so that way they learn from their lessons from being in complete bankruptcy for their entire lives after running into him. I'll pass the microphone to our good pal Medivac.
Hi all, I'm Medivac, and I play Misty, the Mistress of Moisture. That never gets old. She is able to control moisture. She can turn herself into a mist now, and squeeze through tight places. Yeah.
So I was just laughing at the meme that you put with Tinkerbell going through it.
Yeah. It's so bad, isn't it?
No.
Poor Tinkerbell. She can shoot jets of water from her hands. She can do a thick jet, which is more bludgeoning damage, or a thin damage, which is more piercing. She can also create simulacrums. Not simulacrums, the wrong word. Elementals
Yeah.
from water, which will do her bidding. She can create objects out of moisture, condensing it so it's quite tough. By day she's a lawyer, so she has a nice house on the edge of the city, which we use as a pseudo base at the moment. And that's it. And with that, I shall pass on to our GM in Worlds.
Thank you very much. So the party are having their reputation dashed. They have been set up by probably another company, although they're not too sure. And they've been set up and they are currently wanted for a robbery that went ahead. And there was no footage of the robbery itself, but live voice footage came from inside the building. The party or the team therefore decided to try to investigate who these people are and why they're actually going after 3 quite innocent heroes. At the end of last week, well, in last week's episode, they went to a hacker called BBL and asked them to get some dirt or find out where these people, these new 3 heroes, had come from. And in exchange from that, heroes had to go and remove some squatters from BBL's grandmother's cardigan and jumper factory, which they did extremely well. And when they got back, BBL was very pleased, and we left the session with him saying something like, you really need to see this, or this is what I found out. You're all in BBL's apartment. If you remember, it's completely full to the brim with tech of all descriptions. Oh, and you also left your video, a copy of your video there, I think. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct. He was going to make it look more real than it really was, because it was real.
Yeah.
But he was more real.
More real, and maybe
real.
Touch up some blemishes on your faces and make you look superhero.
Gotta define the muscles better.
Yeah, a bit of motion blur
shadow
on Rabbit, so
a lot of lens flare.
Yes.
Flare.
That's
really important.
And words like "pow," "wham," that comes up.
That's obvious, because that's what the visuals, the audience would understand. They always do that when I punch things because of my big noises and my strong hands.
So he's going to get Mr. Abrams to help out.
Yeah.
That was a classic move, by the way, that will go down in history when you hit one guy into the other guy into the wall. I think that's
into next week.
Yeah. I think that might become a signature move, a banner signature move, but we will see. Okay, then. So BBL has his tablet out, and he sort of like flicks his hand across the screen, and one of the monitors actually displays pictures of Dumbbell, Sonic Blast, and Hedge Thicket in sort of like 3 columns. And every time he talks about one, that person covers the whole screen, and he gives his narrative of what he has found out. So please remember that what he can find out is purely on a computer skill roll. So this is what he actually found out about each of the people. So the first one is Dumbbell. And if you remember, Dumbbell was the muscly guy in the cut-off jeans, shorts, etc. So apparently, he sort of like talks to you and he says, so let's look at this one. Dumbbell kicked out of a bodybuilding competition because he was using steroids. Would you believe, Banner?
Banner's not very aware of steroids. So
wasn't Eternal Enterprises trying to sell you a bunch of steroids?
Well, you deceit. Well, no, it's yeah. So, and anyway, due to the steroid gate, he lost some major affiliate deals. He also completely wrecked a gym where he used to work out, physically injuring multiple innocent civilians when the gym owners refused to give him a gym membership. He just went maniac. And again, he lost a whole load of branding deals. He then seems to have somehow managed to dodge arrest and time in jail. And then he went missing for quite a period of time. And, well, according to my calculations, about 6 months, and then has suddenly reappeared on the circuit and within Metro City. Just out of interest, I took a sneaky peek into the police files, and, well, he doesn't seem to have a file at all. That seems to be the case for all the Awesome Three. Anyway, now this hero, or possibly villain, is not as nice as you, Mistress of Moisture. And he clicks a picture. He clicks something on his iPad, and Hedge Thicket comes to the front. Can you remember what these people like, or do you want me to drop them onto the screen for you?
I can remember.
Yeah, I can remember.
I'll put Hedge Thicket underneath Rabbit there. Yes, so it seems that Hedge Thicket may have been best called Hedge Cougar. And there were reports of her using her powers to pose as a gardener to exploit innocent family men, and then demanding money after creating various photos. Yeah, she seems to be quite a dab hand with all plant-related species, but also the computer as well. In the end, she was caught by a private investigator, and that's how they knew she had been altering videos and footage and photos, because her editing suite was located. Anyway, she was arrested and later paroled, but as I said, there seems to be no record in the police files for Hedge Thicket at all. And then finally, there is Mr. Sonic Blast. Well, he comes across squeaky clean on Network 7, but believe me, he is far from clean and far from squeaky. He has a long list of drug offences, those range from supplying to buying and distributing. He's been doing this since he was a young lad, as far as I can determine, hanging out at musical festivals, music gigs. Anyway, he's been arrested several times and has even spent time in the Bastille. But interestingly enough, his files have disappeared. And would you believe he's now got a record contract as well? Yeah, don't ask me, really. I don't think these people are nice people at all. And Bastille, by the way, is Metro's correctional facility / jail.
Didn't Sonic Blast make isn't he like a hip hop artist?
Yes, that is correct.
So he probably has some songs referencing his track record. So it's actually kind of impressive that he has like the record to back it up, instead of just making up that he was a gangster.
They definitely do not have the squeaky clean records that you three have.
Yes,
that some of us have.
Clean. Very.
Some of us threw temper tantrums, not at gyms, but at teenagers painting.
Oh, he says.
I once beat up a guy named Jim.
We know who they're working for.
No, I really did search for that. Whoever's hiring them or controlling them is really keeping a very tight eye on any clues. I can continue, since you apparently you haven't totally demolished my mother's cardigan factory. So I'm happy to keep looking into this for you if you wish. Oh, he says, and he sends you over a drive, a directory that has your original footage on. He says, I've tightened it up, made it look real. Yeah, bit of extra definition for the big guy.
It was real.
Bit of motion blur for the fast woman. And
you're supposed to remove my motion blur. No.
And a few casual hair tosses for you, Misty.
Well, thank you.
Well, they do say that reality is an eye of the beholder.
That's
weird.
Fireball.
Wait, so you said
who's holding these
Hedgethicket.
bees?
Hedgethicket is really good with computers. She could probably be the one who set us up and edited things to make it seem like we were bad.
Did we find any the royal we? Did we find any information from the bank, from the CCTV inside?
Oh, interesting. Would you believe that just before anything was meant to happen, the whole power was cut to that building? Nothing worked. No lights, no electronic locks, no nothing. And even, as I found out, the backup generator was even cut off.
How inconvenient.
He says, somebody's definitely trying to set you guys up, I tell you.
And I'm guessing there was no CCTV at the back of the other buildings at the back of the bank, because apparently we escaped out the back.
You are right on the button, Misty. Somebody planned this really carefully. Really carefully. He pauses for a while and he sort of like leans into you all and says, I think this is a company. I think you've annoyed the wrong sort of people.
Yeah, that would make sense. We kind of made Eternal Enterprises mad, and I think we disappointed Sky Syndicate.
Ooh.
Well, we
with that note, Banner, you looking around and the kind of like all the computer screens and whatnot. I've noticed that you don't have that fancy Eternal Enterprise laptop. Those are pretty fancy. The other red, white, blue. I almost had one, but then what happened there?
You should have taken it. You should have taken it, but you didn't.
Yeah, oh yeah, when we got trapped that one time. How inconvenient.
BBL says, yeah, they're meant to be really high tech. But just be careful. They're also rumored to have tracking and surveillance chips in them.
Wait a second.
Oh,
wait. How did Dr. V know about my connection to Eternal Enterprises?
Hang on, is Banner going to make a jump in logic?
An insight roll.
I don't know where you're going with it.
You should be going to the phone in your pocket. That's the jump you should be making. There is yes. So Eternal Enterprises are capable of monitoring and tracking and surveilling. Well, do you have anything of theirs that they gave you as a gift? The fancy phone. The fancy phone they gave you in your pocket.
Right.
That must have been
I
how
can
they
use that to play video games.
We were at their old laboratory that Dr. V was at. Are you really using it to play video games?
Snake.
Well, the ones I can. It's hard because the button's very small, but
I'm pretty sure it's a touch screen.
That makes more. Otherwise, that actually makes sense.
It's touch screen and voice activated.
I thought I couldn't see them.
Touch screen. And was it reinforced just for you?
Maybe I haven't broken it yet. This is very new. I've been trying to play solitaire.
Is it in
but
your hands at the moment?
I keep,
When you're telling
keep
us no,
losing to this guy.
I don't have it. It's
I,
on me.
I imagine that he's got it in his hand once somebody mentions it.
Yeah. Well, denying it's not his.
Yeah. He's probably got it in his hand. He says, "I've never had anything from Internal Enterprises."
So Banner, what do you think you should do with that phone?
So BBL sort of like sees it and almost like takes a step back and says, "Mr. Banner, what is that?"
It's my fancy phone that I was given for being a patriot.
And who gave you the phone?
Is it Trask? Mask.
Almost.
Brask.
And BBL reaches out to one side and flicks a switch. Anybody who did have super hearing at this point would hear almost like a white noise generator being set off.
Faraday cage.
Yeah, it is like click. And he says, "Mr. Banner, sometimes I see why you are so strong."
Because of constant, careful, articulate care of my exercise regimes.
He says, "Is that thing turned on?"
It's not turned off.
Oh my Lord.
Why do you need to call somebody?
Banner, this is why we got trapped.
Mr.
They knew
Banner.
we were going there because they gave
Following you.
Banner. Can I see your phone really quick?
Sure. I don't know how to put numbers on there, so
yeah, I'll go get you some really good numbers. I'm gonna reach out my hand to take his fancy phone.
Yeah. Are you letting it go, Banner?
Yeah.
Okay. What Rabbit wants to do is she wants to leave this building, run as fast as she can to the nearest body of water, and then throw it as far as she can into the water.
Yeah, so that would be the Lancaster Flow, which is that river that runs through Metro. So yeah, all of a sudden it just Misty's hair sort of goes as Rabbit dashes out and throws it into the river, and then comes dashing back without your phone, Banner.
And as I return, I'll say, "Okay, now that we're safe, we can finally start planning how to solve this problem."
Yes, for sure. Get my phone back?
Your what?
My phone.
I don't think you gave me any phone.
Oh.
Check your pockets.
I can imagine
I left it in the car.
If there's ever an argument between Banner and Rabbit, Misty just goes vapor form and just so like drifts away.
I imagine whenever Banner starts getting angry or agitated or slightly energized, that's a wise idea.
Yeah. And so,
okay, so
yeah, go for it.
I was just gonna say, so we need to go and solve this problem. We need to find out why they're messing with us. Do we know where any of these three hero villains live? Or where we could find them?
BBL says he says, "I'm happy to look into that. Might take some time." And
do you think there's a connection between Brask and Dr. V?
What? Eternal Enterprises is the connection.
Oh.
Dr. V worked for Eternal Enterprises.
Oh.
Eternal Enterprises wanted to own you.
Oh.
You said no, you can't be owned because patriotism can't be caged. And then
that sounds familiar.
And then they put a cage on you anyways, and you didn't even know it. We need to find one of them, isolate them, and figure out what they know. Ideally, Hedge Thicket, I think, would be a good one to start with. But if we can't find her, maybe see who's stronger, Dumbbell or Banner.
I think Hedge Thicket might be the wrong person to go for.
Why is that?
Because she's a very good manipulator.
She's also the one who's making the videos trying to incriminate us. Maybe if somebody's paying her, she'll just tell us why. Who?
But we'd have to get her to talk. So maybe we could go against, maybe go with the evidence we have against her, that she was arrested, that the police know
I
nothing
don't think any
about.
of them will care about that. They seem to commit crimes very gleefully, based on what our friend BDL has said, and their records are clean anyways. We can't blackmail them with something that theoretically doesn't even exist anymore.
Weren't we going to go back to the place where we were trapped?
You were going to, on your list was to go to the place where the crime was meant to be committed. That's the other thing that you were thinking about at the start of that. Yeah. And going back and seeing if there was any clues or anything there that you could pick up to their location, etc.
That's true.
But if their CCTV like stuff was cut and there's no evidence on the inside, that might just make it look like we're returning to the scene of the crime to mock them. Like, it might be a bad form if it's like, hey, you know how we robbed you the other day? That wasn't us. We're just trying to figure out how we didn't rob you.
There's also the other follow-up thing that you talked about was whether or not you could locate any of the people. Sorry, you called them actors.
The witnesses.
Yeah, that was the other thing that you had on your list to do.
That might just look like intimidating witnesses. We are in a mess.
We're going to anyway, aren't we? Because I mean, we need to know why they've done it.
Well, there's no camera shots of us apparently robbing the bank. Maybe, and just maybe, we can figure out what their escape plan was, and maybe that'll give us a clue to where they escaped to. Right?
I have no idea.
I actually, yeah, I'm with the storyteller here. Like, what are you saying? We'll find like tire tracks on a road and follow those tire tracks to get on a road.
Very much so. Easy.
I've got papers full.
Yeah. I don't know whether or not Banner's saying to follow the tracks of your escape van. Do you know what I mean? That you actually were supposed to escape in or something. They did come in a van. The Awesome Three did come in a van.
Oh.
So, but we don't know where that van is or where they are until BBL, our comrade here, is able to track them down. So I feel like we're kind of left with either going to the scenes of the crime and tampering with witnesses and intimidating people, which I don't think will be very productive, or we could try and go and gather information from the two corporations that we kind of made angry, just as an option. Banner, Misty, you could theoretically go to Eternal Enterprises, Misty as a lawyer and Banner as Banner, if you can handle that, and you could try and figure out what's going on, why they might be antagonizing us. Alternatively, myself and Misty as a lawyer could go to Sky Syndicate, see if they're actually upset, see if there's anything we can do to maybe mend those frustrations and get them on our side. These are the options I can think of, but I don't know if anything is very productive. I think we should be going and beating up these hero villains that are trying to mess with us, but I don't even know if they're responsible. They could be owned by somebody else.
The problem, Rabbit, we go back to syndicates. As soon as we step in the door, we could be arrested
or welcomed in.
If they're still very friendly to us, then we can almost narrow it down to who's responsible. If they're very hostile, if Brask says that he will not even humor seeing Banner, then we know that they might have sore feelings. Of course, they might have sore feelings now that Banner lost his phone.
Where did that go?
I don't know. I think you dropped it at the cardigan factory.
Yeah.
It'll be a jumper by now.
Sometimes when I overextend my punch, my pockets get smaller, and I might have squeezed it out. Let's see.
Well, let's go to
no matter what's happening, Misty, you're going in as a lawyer.
I just thought that'd be more convenient for you, and you know words a little bit better than myself, and a little bit better than Banner. So I thought maybe some tact would be useful, as well as having a sidekick. I don't know. Maybe just going in alone would be better than having myself or Banner. Banner and I could go to Tiny's Tacos and rob their food with money, with Banner's money.
Yes. Of course.
So are we
Yes.
going to Eternal Enterprises, Banner and Misty?
It does make the most sense.
It does.
Because maybe they give me a new phone.
No. Okay.
Okay, so
should I be going along with, or should I go somewhere else, Misty?
Can Banner carry you like a backpack?
like a
Like
piggyback.
Yeah, like a Yoda.
Yeah, I can do that.
Sneaky
Can we test that out in BBL's apartment?
Yeah, you can have a piggyback.
Okay, I'll hop on.
Banner,
Quite
just
like
make
him.
Banner, just make a brawn roll.
Okay. Someone's gonna get
I break your legs by jumping on you.
squished.
First critical fail of the night. Oh,
Oh, you
I'm
can
just
take
so heavy.
you can take minutes over it. I just what I was doing the
Yeah.
brawn roll for, just in case you sort of like staggered back a bit, because if you failed it, I was going to make you knock out a couple of monitors or something like that. But yeah, you so Rabbit, you're now on Banner's broad, expansive, muscular back and shoulders.
Very well defined.
Your legs
harder
wrap round the front.
If only your mind matched your muscles.
So
You can't tell if it's the back or the face of the Grand Canyon, you know? It's just
Where am I? Am I on his back or the Grand Canyon? No.
this is gonna be
Rabbit's
so
perception
painful
is
for
better.
Rabbit, this is gonna be so painful for you because you can't move.
I can backflip off of him anytime I want. He's a perfect surface for that.
parkour.
Very strong.
So
A lot of good surface tension.
is Rabbit going with Lawyer Misty and Banner to Eternal Enterprises?
Yeah, I guess I am, but maybe not as a backpack. That's beginning to feel a little bit silly, and I think we want to be taken seriously.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can probably is the idea to get to Eternal Enterprises without being seen? I mean, obviously, Misty, you can. Oh no, you're going in as Lawyer, so you're going to have to go by car, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have to go back to Misty's place, pick up the
Get
car.
changed, put a suit on.
Yeah.
briefcase.
And Rabbit and Banner, are you going in as Rabbit and Banner? And if you
Yes.
are you attempting to disguise yourself at all when you go into Eternal Enterprises?
I'd say yes and yes for me. Rabbit has a hard time taking on her real world persona because she just thinks she's Rabbit. She didn't know she had a real name. She'll be in her armor, but she'll wear baggy clothing over it, like a baggy hoodie with the hood up and such. So anybody who's really close to me could probably notice I have some polyweave underneath, but from a distance, hopefully it's less noticeable.
I have an old timey trench coat with a.
I just knew you were
hat.
going to. Yeah, I just knew. Yeah. Like the Thing.
Like the thing,
yeah.
Because nobody notices those hands.
No, yeah, nobody. Nobody can recognize it at all. Okay, so you're actually going.
I like to imagine my coat's like actually like a size or two too small, so it's like obvious. It's barely like going over his chest.
So you're not technically going in as Banner and Rabbit then?
I'm
not technically, but
suspicious Rabbit.
You're in disguise, yeah. With
or Street Rabbit, yeah.
So Eternal Enterprises is in the main area of Metro City, and it owns a huge, tall skyscraper building that has the Eternal Enterprise logo high up. And you also notice that if there's any opportunity to band things red, white, and blue, it's done. So like across the doors, when you're walking down corridors, there's a red, white, and blue line down, a ribbon down everywhere. And every now and again, it sort of like goes across the walls in a diagonal. And when you arrive, it's quite busy. Eternal Enterprise is a big company, so there's people coming and going. And just like any company, there is a check-in desk. And there is a guard sat behind the desk, and there doesn't seem to be any security to root out guns or anything like that, but there are just the normal turnstiles, very similar to the ones that you saw in Dr. V's laboratory. You know, just normal turnstiles that you push your way through. But as you go in, there is a desk. There's a front desk that has both a security guard in and a young lady with a headset on, pressed white blouse, looking very official, little white rimmed glasses on. And she, every now and again, she reaches up and taps her earpiece. And you just hear, as you approach, you just hear, Eternal Enterprises, please hold. Eternal Enterprises, please hold. Eternal Enterprises, please hold. Your extension, please. Connecting you now. Your extension, please. Connecting you now. And you walk in, and the looking at Misty, who's in her lawyer outfit, and two very suspicious characters either side. The security guard sort of like straightens himself up and comes towards you. Banner and Rabbit, can you roll a deceit roll for me? I thought it'd be fun to use it as a sort of like a disguise roll, since neither of you have probably got this.
We have secret identity.
Secret identity, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was more of a different thing, like how well we're keeping our information secret rather than our face.
It's more to do with computing and finding social media shots of you. Roll your deceit to see how well you've put on your disguise. Misty, your disguise is perfect.
Would sleight or streetwise help me at all here?
No.
Okay.
This is a company building. Okay, so you both walk in. I presume nobody's looking this early on in the game. Both have the same deceit.
Yeah, I was just about to say we're both equally liars.
Yeah, and the guard sort of like looks warily at the two people either side of you, Misty, but it's obviously you who are calling the shots as you. Yeah. Click, 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 click.
As he approaches, I shall flick out one of my business cards.
Yep.
So, hello there. It's my name's Sophia Sampson. This is my company. I represent.
I thought you were saying Eternal Enterprises was your company. This is my company.
Now it's mine.
Crush. I was in a plane crash.
Your owner, you're fired.
Get out of my building, goddammit.
He sort of like takes your card and he sort of like looks at it and looks up at you as if, you know what they do when they're looking at passport photographs, that sort of thing, and then says, can you state your business, please, Mom?
Yes. Sorry, 1 second.
That's a bit of a cough.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were pausing for theatrics or something.
No, I'm going to say a sentence I never thought I'd say ever. I had a nut stuck in my throat.
Is it out now?
No, it's good. We're good.
Yeah.
I'm here to see Mr. Brask regarding one of his clients.
Just one second. And he turns round to the lady behind the counter and sort of like, he seems to be saying things like, has Mr. Brass got any meetings in today with this person? And hands over the card. And she's just sort of like taps, and you hear her go on the keyboard. And she sort of like says, she leans round him and says, Miss Sampson?
Yes.
Can I ask who your client is?
He's a person called Banner.
Oh. The Banner?
Indeed.
Oh.
At this point, the Banner, who I'm assuming is behind him, will pull away some of his coat, expose his pec, and just like flex it.
she sort of like goes, oh, Mr. Banner. Oh, I never thought I would see you in the flesh. Oh, as she waves her face with her hand, trying to keep cool and calm and collected. Just one moment, I will see whether or not Mr. Brass can see you at such short notice. And you hear a tap, 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 tap. And all of a sudden she waits and says, Mr. Brass, dreadfully, this is the front desk here. We have Banner here with a lawyer and a strange woman in joggers. I'm not too sure what she is doing, but no, yes, in the flesh. It's definitely him. I can vouch for that.
You should probably tell him that I am in costume. I'm not naked.
He is in costume. He's not naked. Yes. Well, we could have found out whether or not that rumor was true or not, but we would just have to. Yes, I can I bring them up? Oh, yes, Mr. Brass, that's not a problem at all. Yes, I'm sure we all fit into the elevator. It'll be a nice squeeze. And she sort of like turns off the call and say, Mr. Banner and friends, please do follow me. And she gets up from behind the desk, and she's wearing a straight black pencil skirt. Hardly allows her to move her legs, and she's got high heels on. And you just hear click, 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 click. And the security man sort of like steps to one side, and as you walk past Banner, he just sort of like says, Mr. Banner? Mr. Banner?
Yes.
Great
How
fan.
can I help you, citizen?
Great fan. Just want to say, great fan. Great fan. Great fan of you.
Remember, you're the true hero.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wait till my wife hears about this. We couldn't have a selfie, could we? And the woman sort of like says, Mr. Banner, this way. Mr. Brask is waiting. Not a good idea to maybe on the way out, Mr. Banner. Maybe I know my
it, citizen.
My wife's a great fan as well. You sort of like carry on to what appears to be quite a snug elevator with Banner on. You're about 0.1 of a kilogram below the maximum load once Banner gets in. And
Sorry, can I just ask very briefly, how old is Rabbit?
I don't know.
Yeah, be asking.
Is she quite young?
I assume. Well, my character sheet says 24. I was assuming she was in her early mid-20s, but she didn't know who she was, so she probably doesn't know when she was born.
She looks about 24.
I was going to go with the idea that you're my cousin who's visiting the city.
Oh, you're really getting into this. You're getting into the cover story nicely here.
I'm going to go with aerobics trainer.
A lawyer has her cousin in town, and they hired an aerobics trainer. It's just Banner.
So
well, he needs to work on his cardio.
You seem to spend a long time going up in this lift, and you're probably quite near the top floor when the lift stops and opens, and directly opposite you is another elevator that is bordered by two quite hefty men, but not as hefty as Banner, in suits. And the secretary, the lady at the desk, comes over and says to one of them, I brought Mr. Banner and his associates. And they just say, thank you, Lucy. We'll take it from here. Oh, yes. Well, shall I wait around and does it? No, Lucy, you can go back to the main desk now. Thank you. Oh, no, thank you. Mr. Banner, great fan. Keep up the good work. And she holds up a hand for a bit of a high five with you, Banner.
And he's going to that's fist bump that hand.
Yeah. Not whisk her off her feet or anything.
Not physically, but maybe emotionally.
Yeah, and she sort of like walks back over to the elevator, and as you turn around and see her in the elevator, she does look quite red, and she slowly undoes one of her blouse buttons as the elevator doors come to a close. And one of the guys says, Mr. Banner and associates, Mr. Brasky's waiting for you. Please do take the elevator. And as he says that, you figure the other person standing to the opposite side of the elevator, who has his hands behind his back, probably just presses a button, but it makes it look like the doors open dead on cue. And you only go up like one floor, and the doors automatically open, and standing right in front of it is Brian Brask, who immediately comes forward and shoves out his hand to you, Banner, and said, Mr. Banner, such an honor to meet you.
You're going to step in and grab his hand and say, Sophia Sampson, I'm Mr. Banner's representative.
Oh, yes. Yes, nice to meet you and your associate, Mr. Banner. Why has it taken you so long to come and see me?
Mr. Banner's been talking with me about what's happened at the bank yesterday and how he was not involved whatsoever. And we're trying to get to the bottom of what's happened, because I know categorically where he was.
No matter what Mr. Banner does, and he looks at you, Banner, and says, we are completely behind you, Banner. We are striving for justice. And let's face it, sometimes even common citizens require justice. And you are just the man to hand it out, Banner.
That does make the most sense.
Complete sense. Do come in. Have a seat. Put your feet up. Would you like a drink, Mr. Banner, or associates? Would anybody like a drink? Cocktail?
I'd like a coffee, please, Mr. Brask.
Yes, I can imagine.
I would like a protein shake with 3 scoops and just a trickle of a protein powder.
Coming right up, Mr. Banner, and for your lawyer associate, a coffee here. Yes, I don't suppose you do decaf, don't you? And
I don't. I rely on my caffeine to keep me going.
And your rather jittery friend there.
Oh, my cousin. She would like. Do you have any treats? Any high protein treats kicking around?
Yes, we can find some.
Maybe she'll have a protein shake as well.
I think Rabbit. How long before Rabbit's going to say that you're going to make a roll?
A roll of
need to go fast.
Probably like the mention of coffee is probably where she has started to look around the office and thinking, we've been in elevators a lot.
Exactly. 2 elevator rides so far.
I'd actually like a mojito if you have any mojitos in here, or the decaf might be good.
Take a seat. Yes, Mr. Banner, and he sort of like puts his arm round your shoulders, but doesn't quite reach round. And he just leans in and says, "Don't worry, we've got your back, Mr. Banner. Anything out there against you, we will support you 100%. Although we are not too sure about the other 2 do-gooders that you hang around with. We don't think that they actually share your, well, shall we say, your philosophy and values." And he sort of like...
To be honest, Mr. Brask, I don't represent those 2.
Yes. Do have a seat, ladies. Do have a seat. And he sort of like goes over and he opens a cupboard, and he comes over and he brings something over and he hands it to you, Banner. And when you look at it, it's a protein shaker, and it's actually it's styled in with Banner. It has your colors on it, and it has, you build yourself up with Banner powder. And it's sort of like over, it says, we got these, just prototypes, Mr. Banner, but we hope they hope you agree. Do tell us what you think. And then he almost like nervously goes over to a desk and presses a button and says, coffee and a mojito or something. Yes. Yes. Yes, Mr. Banner, what do you think? You hate it, don't you? You hate it.
Banner holds the little protein powder cup. The small little tear kind of trickles down his eyes. He looks at Misty, looks back at it. It's okay.
Oh, God. What are the chances of Mr. Brask having a treadmill in his office?
Very unlikely.
Rabbit is trying to balance. Rabbit like grabbed a chair and is trying to balance and focus and keep from panicking because she's increasingly wanting to go fast. So she's gonna like perch on one foot or try to.
So Mr. Banner, I'm honored that you've actually come to see us. How can I help you and your associates?
Well, wait, where were you again?
You're in
Banner.
We have some questions, Mr. Brask. Specifically, we want to know your connection with. He pauses for with
dumbbell
question. We want to know what's the trio's
Sonic Blast and Hedge Sticker.
They're the awesome 3.
The awesome 3.
My connection, Mr.
It sounds like you're double dipping.
Double dipping.
He winks at Misty.
Mr. Brask, we just want to know what your connection is and what you know about the Awesome 3.
There is only one superhero for us. It's Mr. Banner. He's the person that upholds our values, our philosophies. He is Eternal Enterprises. Mr. Banner, I've told you this before. We want you on our team. We want to be with you. We want to be behind you, support you. We want to be Bannerettes.
So, Mr. Brask, do you know where these 3 have come from? I mean, they're clearly, with their history of criminal activity, we're a bit concerned why these 3 are representing or trying to replace Mr. Banner and his colleagues in this city.
I have an answer to that.
Oh,
I
indeed,
have
I'm all ears.
I have a complete answer to all your problems. And he looks at you, Banner, and says, Mr. Banner, go and squat them, pulverize them, pummel them into the ground, take their heads and rip them off their bodies. The best way to deal with these people who are trying to do you harm is to squash them.
Mm-hmm. Like a bunch of pumpkins.
Yes.
Or squash.
Or a bunch of grapes. No, pumpkins.
Pumpkins, yes.
You can do it.
Big
Root them out, Mr. Banner. Root them out. Root them out.
Banner's gonna stand up and kind of just walk around the chair a bit.
Well, that's all nice and good, but I have a real question, Mr. Brask.
Anything, Mr. Banner.
Do you happen to know anything about, and he dramatically looks over his shoulder towards Brask, Dr. V?
you hear in the distance, da, da, da. And he sort of like says, I'm going to have to come, I'll have to be truthful, Banner. I can't. Dr. V was a mistake. He was a mistake. We thought too high and we dug too deep and we created a monster, Banner. Mr. Banner, we created a monster. I've said it. I've said it. Will you ever forgive us?
We've all been in that mistake where we dig too deep and we regret it. Sometimes I can't reach all the way behind me after using the restroom. But nonetheless, if you dig too deep, sometimes you make holes you're not supposed to.
We are very disappointed and upset about our holes that we have created. Please, let us make amends. Let us reach round and help you.
And that's the thing, is I do like the idea of our allyship, where I could always trust me that you'd always be behind me, reaching around, making sure that
we will be there. We will be there, holding, supporting,
yes,
making things happen.
Truly be the stability of liberty.
Liberty and Banner. Freedom for Banner for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So could you help my client make this go away?
Every time you talk, Misty, Brask, he just looks like he's just getting not annoyed. He just looks frustrated that he seems to be talking to Banner. And he sort of says, yes, anything that Mr. Banner wants. Mr. Banner, do you want us to make this go away?
I would very much prefer that, yes. But first, I feel like we need to know more about what you know about Dr. V.
Dr. V was...
Vernon Smith.
Every time Banner says Dr. V, he goes, Dr. V. And you hear in the background, duh, duh, duh. Let me press the you might not have seen if you haven't watched the videos back, but I have villain cards. So whenever we mention a villain on OBS, a villain card comes up. It goes, and there's the name of the villain and what picture of them and what their powers are, etc. So that's what I just did there. And he sort of like says, sorry, what was the question, Banner?
What information can you give us about Dr. V?
He says, he was a mistake. Banner, we wanted to be like you. We wanted to mold ourselves. And he said he could make a genetic material that could make us all like you. We all wanted to be like Banner. We wanted to live like Banner, to embody you, Banner. But it was a mistake. Yes, we soon knew after the explosion that there can be only one Banner. And he reaches out with a finger and just pokes your chest. That is you, Mr.
Break his
Banner.
finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, be careful. You don't want to break a bone.
No, I just gently poked.
What explosion?
Sorry? Didn't hear.
You said it's something about explosion.
Yes. He dug too deep. But he caused an explosion, and that's why, well, he sort of like went green and went, ooh, you know, as he whirls his finger around his temple and makes a cuckoo noise.
So after an explosion, he went green and went a little.
He sort of like explosion as in.
Oh, like an explosion.
Explosion, yes. Yeah. Like
explosion.
Yes.
Right. Like this.
That went
I'm sorry, I'm confused. I don't understand.
That went down. That went down well on the podcast. Don't worry.
Like an explosion.
He's a mistake, Mr. Banner, and we apologize. I apologize to you.
Well, he's a mistake that we have to deal with now, because with him out there, Banner will not be able to succeed.
Mr. Banner, let us help you. Please, let us help you.
I need the whereabouts, where you understand the whereabouts, for Dr. B to be at.
At the moment, I do not know this, but I will recruit a crack team of investigators to locate Dr. V and get the information to you as soon as possible.
All right. I look forward to that.
Yes. He sort of like, do you still have your phone? The one that we gave you, so we can contact you immediately.
Banner starts feeling around his pants. Where'd it go? I swear I just had it.
Don't worry, Mr. Banner. And he walks over to a cabinet and presses a button, and a drawer comes out with like this, a 5x5. It's all like foam, and it's got foam cutouts. And in 2 rows of 5, there's these phones, just like the one that you had before, though one foam slot is empty. And Brass just takes the next one, presses a button, and it goes, and it goes back in and says, "Here, Mr. Banner, already coded for your identification."
Ooh, very fancy. I like this kind of phones.
Keep it close.
Okay.
So, Mr. Brass, who do you think is setting Banner up?
He sort of like, he says, "Mr. Banner, we have no idea, but we will find out. We will toil through every hour of every day. We will fight, and we will hack, and we will make sure we find out where Dr. V is and let you pulverize him."
Oh, sorry, I was looking at my phone. What'd you say?
We'll find him. We'll find him, Mr. Banner, and we will let you know so you can pulverize him.
Of course, yes. Okay.
With that,
sounds good, citizen.
I'm going to grab Banner's arm and slowly turn and say, "Thank you, Mr. Brask. We look forward to your talk."
Brask grabs the other arm.
He's like, "No."
And I'll piggyback on Banner's back.
It's like
all
an
right,
old
time to hit the dusty trail. And I just like tap on Banner's head.
Or pile on. Balances. Yeah, and he sort of like waves at you, Banner, as you enter the elevator and goes, "Banner, I'm with you." Now, I do believe...
Remember, Brask, you're the true hero.
said that about the
Banner.
security guard.
Banner, I
They're
do
the true
believe
heroes.
you have a passion that talks
People
about
told me.
joining Eternal Enterprises.
Just love
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Roll away, please. You're over. So, oh, I know. Hang on a minute. Resist Eternal Enterprises 19. So you fail your resist roll. So as you walk away, you are actually feeling, Mr. Banner, that this was the best company for you all along. You know, you don't know why
Definitely
you
the most
went.
support.
Yeah. This company, they had your merchandise ready and waiting for you there for you. You know, this, you
Just
almost
walking through the door reminds me of like getting a really nice, firm hug from behind.
exactly. And when you get down to the lobby, as you go out the lobby, they've sort of like organized a bit of a celebration parade, and there's lots of people there saying goodbye,
Waving
Mr.
banner
Banner. Yeah, your face on a flag, and Mr. Banner like this, and they're all clapping you as you go out, and the security guard opens the door for you, and he says, "Great fan, Mr. Banner. Great fan. Great fan."
Oh, don't forget your photo.
Oh, yes. Oh, photo. And he sort of like hands his camera phone to you, Misty, and say, "Would you?" And he sort of like
Everyone say freedom.
Freedom.
Snap. Waiting for Rabbit to photo bomb.
I was gonna say while they're the moment they say freedom, Rabbit breaks and she just sprints for Misty's house.
And Misty finds that she had the phone round the wrong way, so it's actually just got a picture of
face.
her. Yeah.
Very confusing phones.
Oh, when it shows his wife, you're like, who's this
Too
woman?
many weird designs on the phone. Very confusing.
And you sort of like walk back out to your limo or your posh car, Misty, with Banner. And there's people stopping in the street going, "Oh my God, it's Banner! Banner! Banner!" Like this, as it, and Banner is doing what?
He's waving.
Break my arm, Ben.
We love you, Banner. You know, and pulverize someone.
Only 3 stories.
And you get into the vehicle. Who drives the vehicle? Just out of interest.
Well, I'll drive it if my driver's not available, but yeah.
Yeah, and you drive off. Rabbit has already dashed for your house, and Banner, you're just sort of like waving out the window, a bit like royalty. Yeah.
I set off at speed and I feel a slight bump as I go over Rabbit.
What do you think? Do you think Eternal Enterprise is
I think it's a building full of banners. They're like a bag of bad badges.
We got a lot of information from that, actually. I mean, just the reaction of how they told us to deal with the 3 superheroes makes me believe that they are not actually involved. They are just literally madly in love with Banner. And
which is fair. It's really easy to be.
It's a ploy to get rid of their dirty trash.
Well,
Brigade.
They seemed like, you know.
Can you all see that?
Battalion of banners.
And their explanation of Dr. V is wanting to make it so they can, since they can't get Banner, they want the second best thing. Their whole shtick, I think, is that they don't want to cause problems for Banner. They want to
control Banner. That's what they want to do.
Yeah, and so I mean, yeah, it makes sense they want to have Banner destroy their loose end of Dr. V, but I really feel like they are not the ones who are pulling the strings right now. It's more likely to be Sky Syndicate based on the response we got.
I don't think they have the ingenuity to be that sneaky.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they might be sneaky, but they didn't seem to want to be sneaky here. It seems like Dr. V and Sky Syndicate are our primary enemies at this moment, and we need to figure out. See, he didn't even know where those three are. He doesn't even know how to communicate with them, which suggests to me that either he's a liar or he doesn't have access. The fact that he's willing to look into it for Banner means he doesn't really know. I think.
Yeah,
that's true.
This is all assuming that this wasn't just casual lying, but I think
and he's really good
based
at
on what we got,
deceit or anything. But based on the information, and I don't know how excited he was to help Banner. I didn't see
Can
it.
I just go back and think over the conversation we had with Brask and use an insight roll to see if anything piques my interest?
Yeah, by all means.
he was sweating heavily.
Oh,
So,
luck roll would
gonna
take it down to
reverse it.
56.
Yeah.
65 out of 63 was so close for your insight roll, but reversing it, using a point of luck to go to 56. Yeah, you think Brask, believe it or not, was being very genuine. It does sound as if he really wants, not necessarily, they want to be part of Banner. You don't think he was hiding anything at all. It's probably he was very keen to work with Banner, although he definitely agrees with how Banner deals with people. The other thing that you picked up was when the bank robbery came out, were talked about, Brask was sort of like saying, yeah, well done, Banner. That was a good thing to do. I bet they deserved it. So even that situation, he's just backing Banner. For full stop.
For better, for worse, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds like it's a good point to take our break for the evening. And as we go off and grab something to drink and something to eat, some snacks, please go off as well. Stretch your legs, and we'll be back about the 1:45. And we'll see whether or not the team are brave enough to go to Sky Syndicate, or whether or not they decide to do something completely and utterly different. We will see you back here at 1:45. Yay! Right, hang on. I've got. Yeah, he was a cleric, and I'm sure you just loved yourself. I'm 100% positive. I'm really must.
Yeah,
I think
when
you
to
just
describe
described
by yourself.
your own
Sometimes
character.
when you're alone, you just gotta love yourself. Sometimes,
Yeah.
That was rude because there was
a deathly silence.
Yeah.
Not as rude as Brask. What was it?
Yeah.
Proper
Dude has a
going from
crush on
behind
Banner.
you and reaching round.
He was expressing mutual support. That's what he was doing.
Yeah. Properly up and reaching round.
So, now that you've been to Eternal Enterprises, are you going to risk going to Sky Syndicate?
My worry about Sky Syndicate is we don't have them in. Did they approach you, Robert, at all?
Nobody was trying to get me on their team. No, people want Banner and Misty.
No, nobody wanted me.
I don't know. When you talk to Sky Syndicate and when you talk to the police, they all seem very, very happy about you.
Rabbit just backflips. Whenever you start to talk to her, she just backflips, and that's it.
Yeah, Network 7 tolerates me.
Visual effects.
I did try and steal a camera though, so
maybe Sky Syndicate's not one that we should approach from the front door, if you get my drift. Maybe we have to be more stealthy.
This is a company that deals in stealth itself, isn't it? It's network, it's TV, it's security.
Yes.
I mean, Banner, I'm sorry, you cannot be stealthy. When you went into Eternal Enterprises in disguise, what Ta-da! You cannot. Even the chat is saying Banner being stealthy and laughing.
Obviously some things might protrude. Some, he's a large person with very well-defined features.
Exactly.
A jawbone that could probably chisel a mountain face, but nonetheless, I don't know.
So
I think I know what you mean. So you mean that you're going to make a big distraction up front, and then you want Misty and I to sneak in the back?
Yeah. Ooh. Maybe. How about this? I'll create a crowd based on, of course, my features and whatnot. Get a whole bunch of people decided to get really, really gun-ho about taking selfies with me and whatnot. And then, while everyone's distracted, because obviously they're hyper-focused on this guy, you guys go in and see what kind of information you can gather.
As you're all at Misty's place, and you notice that the television, the vid screen that is on in the background, you notice that I forget her name. What's the Network 7 person's name?
Jerry Springer? Jerry Springer, Chief of Police.
No, Chief of Police.
It's something like that, though, isn't it?
Anyway, she's on the news. She's doing a report, and she's Sally Fields.
Sally
I think
Fields, right.
yeah. She's outside the Brask building, and she seems to be she's busy talking away. And as you click the volume up, she says, "Yes, you heard it straight here for the first time. We have sightings of Mr. Banner. Yes, we thought they had gone to ground, but we have seen them here today. Well, actually, all these people have." And she sort of like points around in the background, and there's a whole load of bannerets there, with some of them with face masks on that look like Banner. There's a few teenagers that seem to have really bulky costumes on to increase their chest size and everything.
Very large, bulky costumes.
Yeah. And they're
too much padding.
They're also like all the bannerets are shouting, "Banner, we love you, Banner, we love you, Banner." And she says, yes, Sally Fields comes back to Sally Fields, and yes, why he was actually at Eternal Enterprises is at this moment unclear, but it is the first sighting of Banner since he, well, did a dirty on us as the bank, where the awesome threesome actually managed to protect civilians. The big question is now, where are the other two? Have they split up, or are the other two still hiding out? Back to you, Mark, in the studio. Anna, you can't go anywhere without being recognized.
Well, that gives me two thoughts. One, you remember how Shaq had his own like rap album? Maybe you should get into that. You can team up with Sonic Blast. Banner.
Did you say Shaq?
Yeah, Shaq has a rap album.
Sonic Blast.
Oh, Sonic Blast. Yeah, got you.
Well, both of them. Yeah. But I was suggesting that Banner be like Shaq. Do a rap album with Sonic Blast. Get on his good side.
Very large and in charge.
My second thought is we have this new footage. Why don't we go down to Network 7 instead of Sky Syndicate? If we believe Sky Syndicate is our enemy, then we need to get on top of this and start spreading that we were actually innocent.
Indeed. So what I will do is I will upload, but I'll ring Sally Fields.
As Misty.
As Sophia.
A lawyer with footage of yourself in costume hanging out with two other totally innocent superheroes.
I was going to do the old I'm representing, but then that would blow my cover in the sense of my link to you guys. You're right, as Misty.
Yeah, I mean, you could just send me in there. I could run right on into her office and deliver the tape myself.
Yep, that's
and
a good
dash
idea.
back
That's a
out.
fantastic idea.
Well, and maybe give a little interview and do a backflip or something to show that we're innocent.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea, Rabbit. You should be the lawyer.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
I guess, yeah, I'll take the tape that we were given by BBL.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll just pull my hoodie close and sprint on down to Network 7, their HQ or something.
Yeah. So is the plan to try to sprint as quickly as possible and try to find Sally Field's office? Is that the plan?
Yes. If I can, I'd like to try and get around security. Or not even have to talk to them.
Okay, then. So let's do an evade roll for that, since you'll be speeding past.
You use the stairs,
right.
not the elevator.
Yeah.
58 out of 79.
Yes. Nice. So you sort of like dive in, you parkour over the turnstiles and up across, so like go up the wall and back down to get through past the security guards at the entrance. So just roll your perception check for me, please.
Guard's like, hey, you can't do that.
Yeah.
29 out of 56.
29 out of 56. Yeah, so you managed, as you zoom past, to see that list that you have in the foyers of offices of big companies, when it has everybody's name, their room number, and their extension. And as you sort of like rush past, you manage to glimpse the office number, and you rush up there. It looks like it's quite a nice corner office when you get there. Is the plan just to go in? There's no guards. There's a lot of people milling around. You can see that there's people doing hair and makeup down on the studio floor. But yeah, do you get to the office and it says Sally Fields, and then underneath it says Network 7, number 1 reporter.
I'm going to knock very quickly and then just immediately open the door.
Yeah, you sort of like knock quickly and open the door. Are you going in?
Yes.
Yeah, and are you closing the door behind you?
Yes.
Okay, so you sort of like go in, and just as all the pieces of paper go, and slowly start to float to the ground as you speed in. Sally Fields was typing on her laptop on her desk, and you sort of like speed in, and there's a gentle whoosh of air that causes her hair just to flick backwards and forwards, and she looks up at you in your hooded disguise.
I'll take my hood off so she can see who I am.
Yeah, and she sort of like says, Rabbit?
Yeah, that's me. And you're Sally Fields.
Yes, I am. Nice to meet you, Rabbit. And she sort of like looks around quite nervously. Make an insight check for me.
6 out of 26.
Oh. you notice.
Don't forget to say that you liked Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah. you notice that her hand is slowly moving towards her telephone. The telephone has a series of buttons down the bottom of it, along the bottom. And as she's talking to you, she's trying to maintain eye contact and slowly moving her hand towards the telephone and the buttons.
So I'm here to help you, Sally Fields. And I think you can help me too. It'll be like a mutually beneficial situation.
You wish to help me? How will you be helping me?
Well, you're like one of my favorite news reporters. I see you on the TV all the time. You're always telling the truth and spreading the truth, and that's what our town stands for. And wait, are you afraid of me?
As she presses the button, click. No, I'm not afraid of you, Rabbit. I'm just wondering, Rabbit, why you're in my office, Rabbit.
That's a really
Sounds like
weird way to talk.
someone's is having a stroke.
Sally Fields, I'm here to help clear the name of myself and my allies. We were not there at that bank. And I know you guys report the truth. That's why I came here. I brought you evidence of the truth so that you could help report and clear our name. And so that you can get even better ratings. Because I think that's what news people like. Anyways, I'm going to reach into my coat pocket or my hoodie and pull out the tape or disc or whatever it's on. I'm assuming it was on like a USB, actually.
Yes, yeah, most probably, yeah.
And I'll quickly move that over, put it in front of her, and then go back to the door, so that there's some space between us.
Yeah. Thank you for this, Rabbit. You notice she seems to be talking like up a few volume switches. And in her sentences, she sort of like keeps mentioning your name and sort of like says, thank you for this, Rabbit, in my office, looking like a superhero.
If you're trying to communicate to somebody else that I'm here in your office, I think, well, what's your end goal here, Sally Fields? Are you going to have them come in here and catch me? Nothing catch me. I'm like a super fast. Anyways, I wanted to come here to help you, to help me, to clear our name, to report the truth. And I guess I feel like I'm making you uncomfortable, so I will leave.
You're leaving now, Rabbit.
Well, yeah, you're talking weird. I feel uncomfortable and like I'm making you scared of me. The Banner's not here. He's not going to break anything. It's just me. Rabbit.
She says, and where is Banner?
Heck if I know. Banner's always off doing his own thing. Anyways, I'll catch you later, Sally Fields. I hope you'll use that to help share the truth. Get good ratings. I'll open up the door.
Yeah. And yeah, as you sort of like start to make your way out super fast, you do notice some security personnel, not high-tech security personnel, men in white shirts, and handguns, and also a reporting crew. There's a guy coming up with his camera on his shoulder, and as you speed away, Sally Fields comes to the door and says, Dale, please tell me you got that. Please tell me you got some of that. And he's Dale, the cameraman, just all goes, well, no, I was a bit harsh. She goes, and she just slams the door, and she goes back into her office.
First off, Dale's still recovering from his like injury, so you can't expect him to go too fast.
No,
she needs to check herself.
You do hear her say, if that was the real Rabbit, she would have done a backflip. She goes back into her office. Okay,
I am returning to my allies.
Yeah. So they seem to have the tape that has been enhanced by BBL.
I would have thought if Rabbit had that, she'd been back in the office to do a backflip.
Yeah. Is there anything else you or any of you would like to do before I turn the clock forward a couple of hours?
I'm sitting tight with Rabbit to get back to make sure she's fine.
You can cut to a Banner at a Subway shop trying to get extra meat on a sandwich, but without bread. You can probably.
And a whole load of bannerets outside.
But yeah.
Okay, then. So about 2 hours later, two things happen. The first thing that happens is that they're on the television. There is a Network 7 exclusive with Sally Fields for the first time not out on the street, but actually on the studio floor. And you sort of like see the channel headline, the title headline, and it says Network 7 exclusive. The three are innocent. And they sort of like speed round, and you see Sally Field giving this speech, this introduction. Today in my office, I was visited by the one and only Rabbit herself, and she left with us a drive that had some very interesting footage on. Side point, have you three decided what you're going to call your team, by the way?
The More Awesome Three.
Yeah, because I'm getting confused now between my awesome three, my awesome threesome, and yours. So, whatever you would like to be called, then the Bannerets, you can be called.
Maybe the Libertrios.
The Wrecking Crew.
Does that give the right feel that you actually
the liars?
Yeah.
Banner and the Freedoms.
Okay.
We can walk on in leather.
No.
So maybe think of a name, but I'll just call you the team.
The Mr. Ons.
Oh, this is the voice of the Mr. I like that. Anyway, yeah, you need to decide what you're happy with and then let me know. So Sally Field sort of like says, today in my office, Rabbit appeared before me and handed me this USB drive. And there's a sort of like focus in. The three Avengers came from the chat. The new Avengers. You Misty, you could be Purdy.
The Re-Avengers.
The Re-Avenge.
The Tremendous Trio. The
I'm the Flash.
we're gonna WB is gonna reach out to us really quick with a cease and desist.
But why don't you get the audience to name us?
Yeah, maybe put it on the
put it on the
vote.
Do a vote thing.
No, maybe not.
That always works. We can always rely on the
boat faces.
I want to say something that's like justice, but I mean, there's obviously another group already called that, but I feel like that's a unifying thing as a group. The only thing we really have in common is we fight for the what?
The Liberty League.
No. Oh yes, because it was the Justice League, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They chat Darthian, sorry, who's the one person in the chat at the moment. Thank you, Darthian. Says, "Oh, the Justice Avengers," and then you could say, "Avengers assemble," which would be cool. But yeah, that's what we're up to. The Justice Avengers at the moment.
We give Banner a jigsaw and say, "Avengers reassemble."
Yeah, I think right. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll do
time for it.
I'm
trying to think of good ones.
And
the Extraordinary Triumvirate,
and something I can say, and something that's not rude every time I say it.
The Nonsensical Threesome.
the end to evil, evil's end.
Yeah.
Evil's end. I like the word justice. I do like the word justice.
Yeah. The Monumental Triad.
The Justicators. Triad has a rather criminal.
Yeah. It's kind of like a malicious.
The Gang of Justice.
The Justice Gang.
We can do the Terrific Three.
I like Justice. I think Justice should be in it. I might call you the Justice Gang now.
Until Liberty Thugs.
Oh, Liberty has a nice ring to it as well.
Liberty.
We're the Friendship Mafia. We do what's right, or else.
The Justice Liberators. That would put. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh yeah, we do liberate justice from where it's being caged up.
Yes.
Yes.
That's was too much of our time.
Right. Well, I'll go with something, and then we'll see what naturally.
Something doesn't work.
Yeah, the something, the famous something. Yes, we received. Rabbit gave us some interesting footage that actually could prove that the Justice Liberators were being set up. See, have a look at this. And there's a bit of a flicker, and then the handheld view of Misty looking at the laptop, and Banner and Rabbit there as well, looking rather shocked.
Misty still hit the glass wall.
Yes, he's still running into it and bashing it, and Misty zooms in on the time on the laptop to make that connection. And yes, it would appear that while the bank was being robbed, the Justice Liberators were, well, locked up somewhere. They seem to be trapped in some kind of polyresin cage that even Banner was having a problem getting out of. Could this mean that the Justice Liberators were actually being set up? Do not worry, viewers. We are looking into this wholeheartedly. We will uncover whether or not our beloved heroes have been set up and bring the other rather nasty people who have set our Justice Liberators up to justice for all. And the TV screen goes back to the football game that's on. And at that point, Banner, you get a call coming to your sat phone. Seems to be from Brian Brask.
All right.
Is he gonna be mad that we cleared our name? Maybe I liked you better when you were criminals.
Yeah.
I'll press smudgely press accept. Hello, it's me, Banner.
Hello, Mr. Banner. We have just come across.
Oh, no, I think I have you on Bluetooth. So I'm just gonna.
Can you hear me?
I don't know what
Mr.
Bluetooth. Can you
Mr.
hear
Banner?
me?
I can hear you,
Hello?
Mr. Banner. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Excellent. Excellent. We have discovered, we have been searching high and low for you. And in order to bring these perpetrators to justice, and we have come up with a very interesting lead.
Okay. Lead away.
We think we have found the address of the other 3 hideout.
That's what we wanted.
Yes, we've been
Very
working.
good.
You asked us to do it, Mr. Banner, and we have done it.
And I appreciate your work, because guess what? You're the true hero.
No, Mr. Banner, you are the true hero. We are all behind us. Every single person in this company is behind you, holding on steadfastly as you power us to a more justice-filled future.
I like the way you speak. Where is this address?
I'm sending the coordinates to your phone. If you can't understand the coordinates, then maybe one of your other companions will be able to help you out. It's on the outskirts of Metro City. It seems to be some kind of mansion. We had I hope you don't mind, Mr. Banner, but we sent a couple of drones up there to have a look. It's rather a big place, rather big. But
This is very confusing then, because usually the wealthy never do anything wrong.
Well,
very confusing.
Can I put my head out the window and listen for any drones?
Yeah. No drones, and it's sort of like you can see the coordinates, Misty, and it's a little bit further out of town. It looks like a bit like the Celebrity area when there's a huge house, then open grounds before, and probably high walls before
where
the
I'm sort of
next.
edging towards.
Yeah, where you're halfway towards with all your
I'll get there.
well. Yes, he sort of says, Mr. Banner, the drones didn't show us anything, but well, they did pick up something interesting, and he sort of like plays something down the telephone to you, and it's one of Sonic Brass's rap songs. And he says this was blazing out from what appeared to be several windows. Yes. Mr. Banner, can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Be careful.
That's two things.
Oh. Okay. Well, nice talking to you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Banner. Thank you.
Anyways. Oh, they're gonna send me an address so we know where to find our
Yeah, they've already sent you
Yes.
the
snare
map.
dwells.
I'm going to show Rabbit the map and the location and say, do you want to take a quick look? And we'll follow up slowly behind you.
Well, I do want to go fast.
Would you like to take a couple of these bars with you just in case? And I'll give us some like those high energy bars that hikers have.
Yes, I will take. Yeah, no, I'll definitely take those. I'll fill up my pockets, and then I'm gonna run. I'm gonna go do my little bit of scout about.
Yeah, so there seems to be quite a high wall and a wrought iron gate at the front with what appears to be a keypad. I think with your parkour, can you jump walls? Is there something that you can do that?
I imagine.
You can climb walls, so you should be able to jump it.
Well, I imagine it's more like Jackie Chan in Rush Hour when he's like trying to get into that secured area. If you can find a corner that has enough jumping points, I imagine she could.
Yeah.
But a straight wall, I don't think parkour would help at all.
Okay, but you can make a easy acrobatics check to ignore what does that movement penalties.
Oh,
Okay.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
The last sentence there, the hero can also make an unmodified acrobatics or athletics check to climb or descend at normal speed under the same conditions.
Yeah, so you can roll for me if you
pull your retractable ramp.
Yeah. You could pole vault with your staff, yeah. So would you like to roll either acrobatics or athletics, whichever one you would like to roll?
Athletics. And here we go. 76 out of 81.
Nice. And you sort of like, you find a corner or something like that, and using your staff, you manage to get up over the wall and jump down the other side. You can see the building ahead of you. It seems to have a ground floor and a first floor. There seems to be nothing in between you and the buildings. There seems to be open grassland with a slight incline up to the actual house. From the look of the house, are you going closer and running round or what?
Yes. Trying to get any kind of clue of what's going on there. Going as fast as I can as I do that. So I might do several circles around.
So there seems to be several windows on the ground floor, quite big windows that appear to have some kind of sash curtain behind them. It doesn't seem to be any blinds or anything like that. But as soon as you get close to the house, you can hear the music. You can hear the music being belted out at quite a high volume. There's lots of windows throughout, and you can see into these windows anytime you wish. There's also a double door at the entrance to the house.
Yeah, I'll look through the big windows.
So as you start to, do you want to look at them all or some of them? What's going to be your plan? Because do you want to know how many there are in total?
Sure, yeah.
Big ones. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 big ones, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smaller ones, and then 2 tiny, almost like very narrow oblongs either side of the door that are windows as well.
I think I want to go for all of them because Misty told me to be recon, and so I don't want to let her down.
Okay, then. So you sort of like speed round, having a look. Are you going to stop and have a good look, or is the plan just to speed round and have a glance? I need to know whether or not you're going to stop outside any window. That's what I need to know.
My thing is your speed like Quicksilver in First Class, not First Class, in the X-Men film where he's poking stuff out the way and you can look around and do it if you want to speed?
Oh, definitely not. I know that there is a specific speed I can run per hour.
Yeah.
Page 171. I know it's pretty fast, but I don't think it's stop time and
It's not
whatnot
stop time.
fast.
No, okay.
And even then, I think when I'm running at my top speed, it's probably like a car going fast. You still see the car, but it just might not be easy to catch.
Yeah.
So I think my first goal is to do like go around, not stopping, but if anything picks up my attention, then I will come back and I'll have a longer look on that.
Okay, so
like a bathroom, I wouldn't like just, or well, I guess a living room with nothing in it other than a couch and TV. I just glance, moving on, not going to take a look at that.
Okay, so let's see what you pick up. Let's have a perception check, and
I will use a point of luck to reverse that.
right. Okay, then. So that would give us 17, which would take you all up to. So originally it was a 71 out of 56, and reversing it make a 17, which would go right the way up to a formidable success. Okay, then. So the best way to describe this, as you get glimpses as you're going around, and even some of them that you pay a little bit more attention to, it looks like somebody's had a really big party in almost all the rooms. They're not ransacked. They're just, in the dining room, there's like bottles and cans and cans of lager and things like that on the table. And a couple of the chairs have been knocked over. You notice that some of the carpets, some of the rugs have been have had the corners flipped up. There's it as you go round into the what appears to be a living room. There's a huge amount of takeaway bags on the tables or on the floor, and empty polystyrene cups like McDonald's milkshakes, etc. And even when there is a small bedroom on the ground floor as well, and this is the bed's not made, the duvets are crumpled up. You notice there's a lot of paper around the place, but you do notice that any room that has a vid screen, a television in, is playing one of Sonic Blast's music videos. And that's sort of like going on. You do also see 2 things. It would appear that you found some stairs going up to the 2nd floor or the 1st floor. And also there seems to be some stairs going down into what might be a basement.
And I don't see anybody while I'm doing this, right?
Nobody at all.
I am going to sprint back to Misty.
Yep.
And assuming nothing stops me,
Nothing at all.
I will return to the group and I'll say, okay, I scouted it out. It seems like they have a really good party mansion. I actually think we might want to be friends with them. It could be really cool, except it seems like Sonic Blast loves himself more than Banner loves himself, which is kind of amazing. There's lots of trash everywhere. There's lots of drinks. It looks like they had a big party. I didn't see anybody or anybody partying with them. He's just watching himself do his music videos. That said, they were really good music videos, and it's not the worst music I've ever heard. But there's also a basement. There's a first floor above the ground floor. There's a wall. It's very rich looking. And I don't think they're there. Or if they are there, they're passed out upstairs or in like a basement area downstairs. Somebody's drunk or hungover.
Well, they did
It's not
trash our
you.
good name. Maybe we should trash their good mansion.
There were a lot of things that look breakable. So many breakable TV screens, as opposed to Misty's TV screen, which is bolted to the wall, I'm assuming.
Completely.
Because of
yeah.
you, Banner.
Because who?
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I mean, I do have one in the
very
table.
confusing screen.
That's more on a computer screen, isn't it? The table.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
Fancy.
yeah, it's on the wall.
Well, what if we just go in there and knock and make our way through?
I think that's the best bet at this point. Either they're there and we find them, or they come there eventually and then we find them, and we could deal with problems at that point, or get killed by them.
I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Let's just
that
go there
premise.
and make our presence known. At least we can find out who they're working for if we find them.
Yeah, well,
And that's our
because
primary
Dumbbell's
goal.
strong,
Yeah.
like Banner, and he takes steroids, unlike Banner, so he might actually be
Banner,
stronger than you,
yeah.
Banner.
Very unlike Banner. Yeah.
Wait, do you really need steroids, Banner?
No. What? No.
I thought you were
No,
like strong,
I'm
like
all natural.
Are you?
I'm as natural as Lady Liberty's feet.
Banner just needs a target. He doesn't need steroids.
He doesn't need steroids.
It's all tenacity and do-goodery.
So
you beat
That's
up
the
two
only problem I
teenagers. You beat up two teenagers for graffiti art. I kind of
is
feel like
true,
you have
yeah.
some steroid problems.
Should've
First off,
called him
they shouldn't
Fred.
have been terribly defacing our country's beautiful buildings.
Hang on, they were being paid by the owner to do a painting on the wall. Can I just
Do
remind
some
you
terrible
that?
art on the wall. This seems like some mismanagement, if I were to say so.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
liberated
really?
their justice.
In a
I
real
did.
society, that would have been 10 years in the ISO cube perp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Let's head
when
on over there.
when you how we get in there? Are we using super leaping and flying and running? Is that the
Yeah,
plan?
I'm not taking a car because it's that links to me.
Because of gas prices and everything.
Both of those reasons are valid.
I do think does Superbound take some look point, take some power point?
It does if in combat, but it doesn't in
Got you.
out of combat. I think the reason why is I can probably take my time and take a few breaths between leaps.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you're not altering the power, are you? You're just using the base power.
Yeah. Of my squats. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
the original squatter.
You're the reason they chose their gang name. They're like, we want to be like Banner, but also criminals. Bannerettes are so weird.
And then when he knocked him out, I was like, no, we're going to change our name. We'll change our name.
The hero can jump astounding distances. The hero spends 2 power points to add 1/5 of their athletic skill in meters to the distance.
We
Or-
base it off flight, not bound. Or but not
Then it
super
says, hang on,
leap.
it then says outside of combat, the hero can travel by leaping and jumping a great distance equal to. What did we do? Sorry.
We base it off flight and then use in a single bound as the limitation.
Right. Oh, I don't know what you've just said to me there.
I think
So
what we had a problem with was that it would take 2 power points every single jump, and that doesn't really make it an effective mode of travel. But we
yeah,
all kind of need an effective mode of travel. So I think either we said you pay the price of 2 power points, and then you're able to just jump to your location over a
mm,
number of bounds, or it doesn't cost anything at all. But we definitely confirmed in combat it will take 2 points to reposition up
Got
onto a
ya.
building or jump around.
yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so the other issue that you've got once you've all gone there via your own method is the wall. Because I mean, you can bound over it if you want, or you can break through it. It's completely up to you. The gate can be broken, or Misty, you can fly over it. It's not a
Go for it.
problem.
Rabbit's been over before.
Yeah, Rabbit can just do an athletics check for
I'd
me.
rather Banner go over it rather than through it, because at least that's not giving us away.
Yeah, do you want to know? We often wish Banner would do as we but
Sometimes obstacles need to be taken down.
exactly.
I'll use a point of luck to solve my problem. 84
yeah.
out of 81? No,
Oh, that was
48
close.
out of 81.
Nice. And therefore you come to the double doors. You can see the windows around, and as soon as you get to the double doors, you can hear the actual music that is blaring out.
They won't be locked.
Yeah, I was just thinking, if this is a real house party, the front doors might not even be locked.
Well, to be fair, judging by the people, I don't think they've been locked, because he's got the gates locked, and he sounds like the sort of person who would be confident that nobody would come through the gates before getting to the door, to leave the doors unlocked.
Unless they're working with Sky Syndicate like we thought, and those front doors are unlocked because they're connected to a trigger, like an alarm. I say we
keep
try a back
on
door,
our
not the front
feet.
door.
Okay.
Unless
Is
that's
there a
what they
back door?
expected. For us to enter through the back door.
No,
Back door.
there's no
piranhas.
There's no back door. There is two big windows and two small windows in the back. One seems to go onto a long corridor. One of the big windows seems to come into some kind of sitting room, and one small window seems to come into a 2-room, almost like apartment, with bed in one room and then sofas and chairs in another.
Right, so I'll just go. I'll just turn to Mist and go through the main door and just check to see the other side, to make sure there's no electronic connections or anything on the door.
Yeah, so you can miss.
Oh, I can't. I need to be invited in first, don't I? Or is that just vampire?
What?
That's vampire.
Misty, are you a vampire?
Very confusing.
So, Misty, you turn into vapor form and go through the keyhole and into
Who lives in a house like this?
into the front room, the atrium, as we call it, which seems to be a square room with 3 doors coming out of it. You're not too sure whether or not the door was locked or not as you came through the keyhole, but you don't set anything off in mist form.
No. There's no sort of like sensors on the door.
Not that you can see, no.
Okay, I shall go back to solid form and just open the door if it's unlocked.
Yeah, it's absolutely completely unlocked. Let me just. Are you in the place?
It's black.
Oh, it's at the top. You
That's at the
gotta.
top, is it? Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. So
Off.
you're in a square atrium. You can see the 2 narrow slit windows either side of the door, and then you've got a door heading to the south, and then one to the east and one to the west.
I would want to be equipping my quarterstaff at this point. Click the button. Tink, tink, tink. Yep.
Just very quickly, coming up the garden, were there any sort of like garden features.
A gnome?
I want to put something in the doorway just in case their big plastic screens come down to block us in.
Oh,
Yeah.
you could put Banner in the doorway. He would. he could just
Nobody puts Banner in the doorway.
There might be
Banner makes his own doorways.
There might be a hat stand or something in this atrium that you can wedge in there if you wish.
Yeah. It'll look a bit out of place if somebody comes home, but
Such a wealthy house, but not a lot of natural light. Very weird architecture.
But who could make more natural light?
Me.
Maybe we should do that when we're leaving, and right now we figure out anything we can.
Well,
Rabbit,
remember, success is going to be between all of us. So make sure we're together and we fight together.
Rabbit, can you just make an insight roll for me, please?
I'll spend a point to re-roll that.
Okay, so 53 out of 26 fails.
This is why I'm so lucky. Gonna get a 99. 69.
You think the staircase to the basement, you think is probably through this door? And just from your memory, you think the stairs going up is probably behind this door.
Okay. Well, should we split up or should we all go in the same place at the same time? I'm going to the basement because I want to go fast.
Okay.
Be careful.
Get on over there.
Yeah, there's just a normal interior door. It doesn't look
I'm
like
open it.
Yeah.
Are there any glass bottles in this room?
I'm just waiting for you to run into the room full of treacle.
Are we gonna home alone in this house?
If there's any glass bottles, I'd want to pick one up.
Yeah, there's a glass bottle. You start to think that your memory wasn't that good because behind this door seems to be a long corridor that you do remember, and it's got 4 doors coming off from that long corridor. It's got like a blue a ribbon of carpet down the middle. This is all rumpled up in places as if some people have skidded along it and it's sort of like backed up. You also notice as you open the door that on the walls, there seems to be some spray paint on it. Looks like somebody has been decorating the inside of the house with that big, bold graffiti, so fluorescent pink and green lettering with that rim of black lined around the outside. Yeah. You do notice there's also several speakers on the wall down this long corridor, and that's where the music seems to be blaring out from.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun to do that skidding thing. So I think Rabbit wants to make her way to the far end, these doors down here, but she wants to do so in a way where she can run and then skid on the blue carpet.
Yeah, you dash down. Just give me an athletics or acrobatics, whichever one you would like.
I'm going for speed, not style. 41 out of 81.
41 out of yeah, you managed to do a little rumpling up of the carpet as you skid down there. Banner and Misty, what's going to be your plans? You're both in the atrium still.
Follow behind Rabbit.
Okay, then. Yeah, so Rabbit, you'll get there if you're using your speed. Whereabouts in the long corridor would you like to stop?
Just at the 2 doors at the furthest end.
Yeah.
And then I'd move towards this one and open that on up.
Okay. And is Misty and Banner coming down the corridor as well, down the hallway? Or are you spacing yourselves out along the hallway? Whereabouts would you like to stop?
Well, I'm going to stop right behind Rabbit.
Okay.
There. Well,
Nice.
actually, Banner's coming. I'll stop there.
Okay.
As Banner's walking, he's knocking on the wall to see how like see how damp the sound is. Like very shoddy craftsmanship. It's not a very good expensive house.
No, it looks solidly built, but could easily be crumbled by you. Whereabouts are you stopping when Rabbit opens the door?
Right there.
There. Okay, then. So you open the door, and this appears to be some kind of sitting room. There's loads of, this is the room that has loads of takeout packages and everything like that on it. And this is also, it's got a big vid screen with Sonic Blast's new music video where he's doing some fancy moves and doing a bit of hip hop, and is probably dancing very much like that Australian break dancer did in the Olympics. He doesn't look very good at it, but he's giving it his all.
Shots fired. Rabbit's still looking for the basement, so she'll say, Banner, here's one of the screens in there, and then I'm going to bounce to the other door.
Yeah, so over in this room, this seems to be the room that had a sitting area, and then beyond it, a bed. The bed is all crumpled up. Does look like 1, 2, or maybe more people have been sleeping in it. And you do notice several of the food containers in here as well, especially in the on the coffee table between the 2 sofas. The little green chairs at the top of the room, they're facing a wall with another vid screen and the same Sonic Blast video playing, the same music one. You do notice by this point that you're hearing the same song over and over again. It would appear that he's only cut or released one at the present moment in time, and it's just playing on loop over and over and over again.
Rabbit, just check the food to see if it's still warm or not.
Yeah, I'll go do that. And I also want to enter the room to confirm there's nobody on this bed, because I can see that there's kind of like a wall maybe blocking it.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I'll check the food and then I'll check the bed.
Yeah. Misty and Banner, you staying out in the corridor?
Yep.
Banner, check out over here. See what's anything out of the ordinary.
So any food that any of you touch or look at, anything that should have been hot is cold. The food looks like it's been there for a couple of days. It's not moldy, but it's a bit stale. The bread has started to stiffen around the edges, and everything seems to. You figured if there was a big party here, it was probably a couple of days ago. There's nobody on the bed and nobody down by the side of the bed. But Rabbit, if you manage to roll a formidable perception check, there is a piece of information that can be found. So roll away if you wish.
I'm going to spend a point to re-roll that one. I'm down to 2 luck points, if anybody's counting.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm spending all my luck points trying to figure out this mystery.
So 93 out of 56 doesn't make it, but...
one away. 29 out of a formidable 28.
That is close. So close that I'll give you a little bit of information. When you go over to a pile of food, an area of food, it almost like looks as if somebody has purposefully emptied out the food onto a table. So imagine a takeaway boxes all in a bag, And it literally looks like somebody's just almost like tipped the bag out and put the bag back upright on the table. It looks mighty strange. Mighty strange.
Like, are you saying in the sense of like if you got some burgers that are all in the wrapping, like they just dumped the burgers out, so they're still wrapped, but like on there, or are you talking like
no, exactly
okay,
like that?
So it's not like they got a bucket of Chinese food and dumped it onto the table with no plate.
No, it's more they've just sort of like, so those little boxes that you get Chinese food in, it looks like they've been tipped out, but some of them are still closed and others are open and it's sort of like oozing out. But it doesn't look like somebody sat down and had a meal and it's all set out as if it was having a meal.
Huh. So almost like maybe there was a scuffle or something.
Yeah, could be.
Okay. I'll rush over to Misty and say, I don't think the food is fresh or anything, but I think something happened here that stopped them from eating all the food. Um, and if it's a few days old, then that must mean that they were celebrating their win after us getting at the bank or something. And so then something must have happened as they were trying to celebrate.
Indeed.
Man, this song is getting really repetitive.
Banner walks in. The interior designer must have been fired because this is just terrible. There's just random seating everywhere. I don't understand.
It's good noise cover though, the music, so let's keep it going.
Okay. Noise cover for what?
Us moving around this building.
Or something happening in the basement. We need to get to the basement.
Basement.
Let's get to the basement then, yeah. Because if something's happened here and people have been hurt, that's where they take the people.
Yeah, I'm gonna speed down through the hall, out through the door, and up to there's my goal. You can stop me anywhere if something has happened.
Yeah. So this door opens up to a set of stairs going up. These are the stairs that go up to the second floor, and there's a door.
Oh. So that must mean then, as I fly across the room with my fast feet, this is probably the basement door, huh?
Yes.
I'll open it, of course.
You actually, because you didn't do well on your insight roll, you mixed up the doors, etc. But yeah, this does have the basement stairs going down.
I wonder if I float and hold on to Robert, it should be able to drag me along at supersonic speed.
Like a balloon.
Yeah. Banging my head on the ceiling.
That might be workable.
We'll try it another time.
Yeah,
or
Banner, I think you.
Or I tell you what would be better, Misty, if Rabbit holds onto your leg and then whirls you round really quickly and then leaves go, and maybe you'd be like a little tornado.
Yeah.
And you see it just sort of like go around hitting into people. Yeah, the door opens. There's a set of stairs going down.
I think Banner should lead. Banner's tough.
Banner, of course, accepting that plan. He's gonna have his shield up and ready, and lead the way.
Okay, so Banner first. Who's next?
I'll go next.
And I'll go third, but I'll keep an eye behind us so that nobody's hopefully sneaking up.
Yeah, well, my theory is Rabbit
sneakies.
get in front of us in no time, so.
Or that.
Huh?
So
I'm at the rear, at the front, at the rear, at the front.
I'm everywhere.
Look at me on the sides.
Okay, let me move you across, and let me just make sure that I hide full page. I'm going to move you across, and you probably won't see anything. I hope you don't see anything.
Oh my God.
You see nothing then. Yeah. Okay. Then.
It's all black.
And then let
me
do this. Can you see it now?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then. So let me tell you what you're seeing here. There is a room at the end, and I've shown you it because the door is actually open. What is in that room, you're not too sure, apart from there is a light. Can you see these little white bits on the edge of the walls? Whenever you see those are lights. Okay. So the first thing that you notice, these yellow things down the middle, these appear to be chambers. It looks like something is being distilled here. They seem to have thermostats on them. There's a lot of copper pipes connecting them one to the other. It looks like some of them, looking at the temperature gauge, some of them are warm. There also seems to be a dispensing mechanism that can, it's not like a simple tap. It almost like looks as if something clicks in there. It will get filled up and then click out, if that makes sense.
Like a syringe.
Yeah, but probably something more like a canister. And when you stick it in, it sort of like depresses the lid. So it fills up, but once you take it away, the lid clicks back up into place. So it's holding whatever. There's no noise from these. The only noise that you can hear is from Sonic's Blast music up on the first floor. There is a room here. But like I say, you can see that there's a light coming from it, but you can't see what's actually in it. And then you can probably see that there's also a door here.
Yeah.
Door on the southern wall.
I'm so glad that these things have liquid things you can take out of it rather than like Alien 4, it's got people inside.
Yeah, they seem to be solid, so solid metal around the outside, so you can't see in or anything like that. But
yeah, there could still be people in it. These could be cryogenic tubes. Like when people die and they want to be preserved forever.
Could
and
be.
then somebody wants a drink from it.
Or maybe where somebody's creating superheroes.
I don't like that.
Hmm.
Banner, you're leading.
What do you want me to do? Would you like me to go to another room or start smashing?
Don't start smashing. If you're going to start smashing, just turn around, go upstairs, and find a TV. Because I don't want to know what's inside these tubes by you smashing them.
Just think if it's the same thing that they infected the police with.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
Horrible. Yeah.
There are so many doors we need to open, and you guys talk so slowly sometimes.
But that's what we are like.
Well, let's go to this door right here.
Right, why don't you run to the other side of the corridor and see what's in that room at the end?
Okay. I will sprint on over there, probably taking the long way around so I don't get in Banner's way.
Yeah.
Or Banner doesn't get in my way.
So you can go in the room if you want to stop and have a look around. I'll tell you what it is. If you just want to take a quick and come back again, then you roll a perception check to see what you can see as you run fast by.
I'll take a moment to look around this room. So when I report back to the group, I actually have something.
Yeah. Okay. So in this room, there's a whole load of mobile phones. They seem to be in their packets still. And you notice that there's also a pile of SIM cards as well. You think these are probably burner phones that criminals might use to keep in contact with other people. Roll an insight check.
Would my culture the underworld help at all in this case with this insight?
No.
Okay. I'll use a point of luck to reverse that 90 into a 9 out of 26.
Out of 26. You also think that these phones could have been used as recording devices to maybe send messages, record, and send them live out to somebody else. These could have been used to get the live feedback when there was the bank robbery, and they were saying, "Oh, please don't hit me." These could have been used. Yeah.
Is there anything else in this room besides that collection? Nope. Okay, I'll return to the group and mention they've got a lot of burner phones. I think this hedge lady is well stocked on her gear, and I don't like that.
Well, time to open the door.
Oh, you guys really didn't open the door while I was gone?
Just take a long time.
Banner was scared.
Just slow motion moving his hand.
That's right.
So you open this door. It comes into a room, and there's a long table in the middle. And the first thing that you see, it appears to be like a line of laptops. They all seem to be connected to each other. And as you come in, Banner, the one directly in front of you, there seems to be a film or something behind, and there's a long bar on the computer screen. Do you have any computer skill at all?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
No, and you sort of like there just seems to be a bar that's getting fuller and fuller on it, and you're not too sure. And you notice that each one of the laptops have this, and each one the bar is further along. But you're not too sure what's happening on those, and they're all linked together.
Well, that must be where they're doing all the edits. Break them, Banner. Break their machines.
Right.
But you told me not to break things.
Remember the room we were trapped in, Banner? Just wait a moment.
Misty, as you come in, because I think you do have a computer skill.
I do.
Yeah. You can see that. You don't need a roll for this. It just, they're rendering out videos.
Oh.
It looks like they're replicating videos, and you just see a glimpse of your face on one of them. Yeah, you don't see it frame on frame. You just sort of like see a frame, and then all of a sudden it jumps to 10 frames ahead as it's rendering out, and you sort of like,
is it the video that I posted?
No, this looks completely new. And you, at one point, you see yourself like that, just sort of like looking shocked. The next time you see yourself, you've got hold of a person's neck in your hand, and then you hold up your hand, and you seem to fire water out into this person's mouth who's got like that.
Banner, break him.
Break him, Banner. Banner, this is your time. This is your time to shine. I'm going to throw my glass bottle at them as well.
He starts smashing away.
Yeah, so just give me a combat check.
Nice.
Yeah, so you
the computers dodge. No.
Yeah, tell me what you do with the computers.
I'll just honestly just start smashing away to the point to where I'm pretty much breaking the table in half as I just start blindly smashing all the computers.
Yeah.
With both my fist and my shield.
Yeah, so there's microchips going left, right, and center. Some fall off the table. You pick them up and smash them down and down again, and you just see these bits of laptops flying all over the place. And Rabbit, you chuck your glass bottle as well. Just do a combat roll for me, please.
Yeah, Fast and Furious includes clubs and potential. Not throwing them. 30 out of 92.
92, yeah, and you're sort of like throw your glass bottle and it hits one of the laptops as it flies across the room, and these laptops are just in pieces everywhere. But at that point, you hear the music upstairs stop, and this eerie silence comes across the room and the house, and then you hear a sort of like a slight giggle. He says, "Oh, you are so stupid. You will never, ever learn." And there's a crackle, and you hear a female voice say, "Which service do you require?" And a man's voice says, "Oh, officer, please help. Please, I've just seen those 3 heroes entering my house, and there were sounds of smashing from the basement as if they were destroying evidence. Please, come quick." And Dr. V's laugh just echoes in your ears. And that's where we will leave it for tonight.
Oh my.
Dr. V is going to have some really broken legs when he finally meets Banner.
Well, my thing now is I've been set up by Brask.
Brask is going to have some really broken legs next time Banner sees him.
Or we could be set it up by Sky Syndicate.
Well,
Sky Syndicate is going to have some really broken legs.
Every single person in this town is going to have broken legs until we stop having problems.
Can I just say that my speech actually does say, "And there were sounds of smashing from the basement." As if I knew.
We're gonna smash something.
Yeah, some stands are going smashed.
Oh, somebody's really messing with you 3, aren't they? They are really
somebody who hates their legs.
Yeah.
What I'm going to suggest is set 5.
Someone wants to be a paraplegic like our friend.
Somebody's going to get in trouble. But the first question is, are you in trouble? And we'll find out next time. We're in trouble. Excellent. Thank you, everybody, for coming along and participating and supporting this session tonight. And we'll leave the Justice Liberators smashing up laptops and in the basement of a house until next week.
Technology, we hate it.
Exactly. But
Very
I'm going to allow the players an opportunity to say where you can find them and what exciting creative stuff they do. With, of course, come first of all to Mr. Pickles.
Yes, I'm Mr. Pickles, and I still have a podcast called And I Took That Personally. The last episode we did was about me getting a little bit too angry about Santa Claus, and Santa Claus is coming to town. And the next episode is most likely going to be the worst Snoop Dogg movie out there, where I get a little bit upset at Snoop Dogg not knowing the things he should know.
I'll definitely tune in. Definitely. Darthy N says, thanks for the adventure. All good cliffhanger. Thank you. I work on it every week. Medivac.
Hi, I'm Medivac the Hidden Hoover, and on Sunday nights at 7:30, you can see us play Solasta, Crown of the Magistrar. We're doing a 5-player Grave Rush at the moment, which is a modded adventure. Very good fun.
Yeah.
On Monday nights, we do Deadlands Reloaded, which is an 1888 Western Savage Worlds game.
Yeah.
Good fun. And on Thursday nights, we play Pathfinder Kingmaker Episode 3. Come along, hear me sing. You won't regret it.
Don't go. I'll keep the sound down. Keep the sound down.
We're battling through Germani's, Eldori's castle at the moment, which is good fun.
Nice. And Captain Kangaroo.
That's all we have time for this week.
You know what? Honestly, last from how successful last week's play was. I'm gonna do a musical this time. We're gonna
nice
for charity. It's called The Lion King. Of course, lion spelled Lying. It's an amazing story about one South African's man's rise to riches and success, with nothing but his tenacity, high intelligence, and an emerald mine owned by his father. Being expected
Lord.
to you'd be expected to learn, to listen to some of these amazing, well-known songs like I Just Can't Wait to Be Citizen Kane and Be Prepared, parentheses, to lose your social security, or and A Cycle of Lies. It's a very interesting story. It's about, of course, one man's ability to not only run multiple multi-billion-dollar companies, but also run parts of the government and play 20 hours of Diablo 4 every day. It's a pretty amazing what he's able
Path
to
of the
do.
Exile 2 as well.
Or Path of the Exile 2, yeah. Actually, hold on, sorry. Looks like something. It's a cease and desist letter because
He knows
obvious
everything.
reasons. I can't really do that. Okay, never mind. So I'm just gonna actually play Little Piggy with my feet on OnlyFans. So look forward to that.
Darcy Ann says, where can I buy tickets for this masterpiece? I'm not too sure which masterpiece. Wanted the first one or the OnlyFans.
The last one's on
one.
OnlyFans.
Sure,
The one's on OnlyFans. So
I'm sure
maybe I'll do
it'll be on
both. I don't
Ticketmaster.
know. We'll see. Let's see how far Disney's eyes can make.
Brilliant. Sounds a lot of fun. And yes, I will be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock midday UK time, when we'll be diving back into Elder Scrolls Online, followed by some Guild Wars 2 after that stream, and probably Guild Wars 2 on the evening as well. Please don't forget, you can support everything that we do here by going across to our across to the Ko-fi page, and you can follow our campaign worlds on World Anvil, and all the links are in the chat. Thank you for your support tonight. We really do appreciate it. Until next time, it's goodbye from me. Goodbye. And it's goodbye from them.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh, that was quite lame, actually.
Sorry, I put myself on mute.
That was quite lame.
Myself, I could have just created moisture to sink through the keyboards.
Oh, yeah.